back to Tailor Tales, Caine's route. I don't know what this next chapter is going to be because it wasn't really left off in like a cliffhanger. So here we go. Today is the day. With my bag and tow, I'm going to go to my old college and hold a small presentation about owning your own boutique. I'm really excited. I brought my portfolio, a few pieces I made before, and I'm ready to answer any question anyone will fire at me. On my way over to the Art Institute of Caine, I reminisce about my college days, which weren't too long ago, but it makes me nostalgic nonetheless. Long days spent in the workroom, sewing, fitting, and doing it all over again. I kind of miss it. I'd really like to see Professor Berg again, since he's helped me so much in my fashion. Once I step foot on the campus, I am immediately taken back to when I still went to college here and stayed at the dorms, when Sarah was my roommate and we had loads of fun together. Campus is busy and full of people, so I worm my way through the crowd towards the main building where my presentation is being held. At the entry, I'm greeted by a familiar face. Miss Melody! It's Professor Berg. Hello, I greet him back. It's so nice to see you could make it. Why don't I escort you to the lecture hall? I'm nervous, but I'm so excited as well. Professor Berg leads me to the lecture hall, passing by students on our way there. How's it going with your boutique so far? He asked me. I've got everything set up, and while I'm not making any profit just yet, I do get more customers each day. Sounds like it's going well then, he says with a nod. I've always had high hopes for you, Melody. I blush a little at the compliment. Oh, thanks, Professor Berg. I hope I exceed your expectations. If there's anyone who can do it, it's you. Now shall we head to the lecture hall? I'm taking a deep breath. You can do this, Michiko. Let's. Alright. The sun is bright and warm when I step outside onto the campus again. Students are sitting down on the grassy field, studying and chatting with friends. The lecture is finally over. It lasted for an hour. There was a large group of people in the lecture hall that listened to me. I was so nervous, but I pulled through. I talked about my creative process, how to start your own business, how to make a name for yourself. I tried to cover as much in the little time as I was offered. I was afforded. I feel exhausted now. I'm ready to go home. It really does feel nostalgic coming back here. That sounds terrible. Suddenly a person bumped into me, causing me to drop my bag to the ground, spilling all of its contents. That did not sound... That sounded like I stepped on a pencil, like a colored pencil. I bend down to pick up some of my stuff, like my wallet and my keys. The person who bumped into me leans down to help me gather my stuff as well. So... Caine's eyes widened. Do you still go to school here? How old are... I really don't know how old my girl is. You! He exclaims loudly, standing up and pointing a finger at me. Wait, what is Caine doing here? I grumble something under my breath as I'm left to collect my things on my own. Are you some kind of stalker? Caine demands. It's not what he thinks this is. I glare at him as I reach for my notepad. Of course not. Why are you here? This is my college, and I'm pretty sure you're not a student here either. So what are you doing here? Spying on me? Caine scoffs at me. Do you think I follow you around for fun? I say with a sigh. Yes, he replies, completely serious. Why else would you be here? Answer him honestly. For your information, I was invited here by Professor Berg to give a lecture, I explained. No need to be so suspicious of me. Caine narrows his eyes at me. I'm always suspicious of our encounters. You're usually up to something. I cock my head to the side. Don't you mean the other way around? Aren't you usually the one causing a ruckus? Hey, I try to be stealthy. You're the one that acts like a bull in a china shop. I'm not some bull. I've got control of my motor functions, thank you very much. I meant your pure strength, he says with a roll of his eyes. Are you even a girl? Why would that matter? I was suddenly embarrassed. Are girls not allowed to be strong? It's just that I've never seen anyone like you, Caine muses out loud. Whatever. Are you going to help me pick up my stuff or not? I finally asked and gestured towards my belongings on the ground. I could have sworn he graduated as well, so maybe we're not similar in age. Maybe he's like a freshman. But he's not that young. He's 21. How old is my girl? Like 22, 23, 24? Caine clicks his tongue and kicks his foot against the ground, making it obvious he doesn't want to help me out. I grab my portfolio, grumbling under my breath that he isn't going to help. But then he's suddenly at eye level with me. I'm staring right into his eyes. He blinks, then looks away, handing me a couple of papers that were thrown out. He seems a bit apprehensive. I accept them, neatly stacking the papers containing my designs and storing them in my portfolio. How are your knees? He asked a bit bashfully. I'm surprised he would even ask. My battle scars are healing up quite nicely. Caine snorts at my comment of calling them battle scars. There's even a tiny hint of a smile on his face. It looks rather nice on him. He does look adorable. We don't see him smile a lot. We see him like grumpy. You design? Caine asks as he hands me over another piece of paper. Yes, I went to college here for fashion design. I own the boutique you deliver drinks at. Oh, didn't realize you were the owner. Caine looks down at the ground as he scratches his nose. What's your major? I ask out of politeness. Metalwork, he says. Caine finally hands me the last thing left on the ground. Before I can thank him for his help, Caine suddenly springs up bright, his eyes widening slightly. He then takes off without saying a word. I frown at his back, shrinking into the distance. What in the world was that about? It's like he saw a monster behind me and ran away. I pick myself up from the ground and make sure I didn't leave anything behind. However, I spot a pencil case of mine on the ground still. Another hand picks up my pencil case right as I try to reach for it. Who are you? You're supposed to be the side character I fall in love with? Not happening. Not a chance. Here you go, he says. I kindly accept it and stuff it in my bag. Thank you. At least some people still have some manners. Oh yeah, I saw you run into Caine just now. I saw a young man in front of me, spiky hairstyle, fashionable clothes. He's staring at me with curiosity. I don't recognize him. Must be another student here on campus. Are you two friends? I ask. No, he hastily denies. We're not really. He kicks his foot against the ground, sulking. He looks a bit dejected. I wonder why. Well, I'm not a friend of Caine's either, if that's what you're wondering about. He shakes his head. I don't think anyone here is. Before I can question him further, wonder what he meant by that, he suddenly grows all shy and starts to mumble something under his breath. I saw your designs in your presentation. They're really cool. Oh, you were in the lecture. Oh, you saw my presentation. I asked him cheerfully. I'm so glad someone thought positively of it. Not expecting my reaction, his eyes simply grow wide and he starts to stammer his words. Yeah, he clears his throat. Your designs are really cool. I like them. He flashes me this cute and bashful smile. Oh my god, is he your second love story candidate here? That we actually cannot date? Not happening. Look at the way he tucks his shirt in. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. But this outfit here, I would not have tucked that shirt in. I don't think I would put all this outfit together either, actually. It just doesn't look right to me. Oh, thanks. That makes me happy, I say, feeling pride swell up in my heart. Though the green one was a bit odd. I raised my eyebrows at him. Odd? Oh, it reminded me of something I saw. Are you familiar with the website Daisy? Melody! Are you the troll? Are you the troll? Is he the troll? Are you the bitch? I'm so quick to just quickly shut this man off. Like, oh, he's actually squinting. Wait. I see my old Professor Berg running after me, interrupting my conversation with the young man. Thank goodness I can still catch up to you. You forgot this, he says as he hands over my agenda. I'm just losing everything today. Well, thank you so much. Without this, I'd be a mess with planning. I quickly stuff the agenda in my purse. The professor looks over at the young man, giving him a nod. Sterling, how are you? You know, I'm not even surprised his name is Sterling. I'm fine, Professor Berg. Kevin Sterling. Here is a student majoring in fashion much like you did, Miss Melody. He's a great role model to have. The boy named Kevin. Your name's Kevin? Wait a second, what? I'm so bad at names. I literally just read out loud his name but did not comprehend it. In my brain, it was just Sterling. When that's his last name. My bad, Kevin. The boy named Kevin slowly starts to get a pink hue on his cheeks. I'm sure she is. No, if you'll excuse me, I need to get back to class. Nah, man, he has to be a troll. Kevin trips over his feet as he tries to scramble away from the two of us, then quickly runs away. Huh, I wonder what that was about. Was he going to ask me if I knew about the website Daisy Dots? It sounded like... Feel free to come back. We'd love to have you around again, says Professor Berg. I'll think about it, but now I have to get back to work. I say with a smile. We both bid our goodbyes and walk away from each other. As I continue walking down campus, I realize I've gotten a bit famished. I wonder if I can visit the canteen and get something to eat there before I leave. What if he was a troll? I bet he was a troll. There are a bunch of students eating in the canteen. Their conversations are lively and loud. I feel like I'm back at college again. I could fit right in. I managed to score myself a really nice chicken sandwich. It used to be my favorite meal here. I've kind of missed it. As I look around for a spot to sit and enjoy my lunch, I notice Caine sticking out like a sore thumb among the sea of students. He's sitting at the far back in the corner, all alone at the table eating his lunch. Oh, why is he all alone? Didn't that spiky-haired guy say something like that? That no one is friends with Caine? Seeing him poke at his food while leaning his chin on top of his hand makes my heart ache for him. When I was still in college, I had Sarah to hang out with. I was never really alone. However, I can't imagine how lonely it must feel to not have anyone to talk to. I feel a strong urge to walk up to him. My feet have a mind of their own as I wade through the other students. Caine doesn't notice me at all as I approach his table. Is his seat taken? Or sit on the opposite side of him? No, is his seat taken? I announced my presence to him. Shocked to hear someone talk, Caine looks up at me. When he sees it's me, he immediately pulls his face into a scowl. It's you. Well, can I sit here or not? I press him. Do whatever you want, I don't care, he says flippantly, pulling his beanie down to cover most of his face. Are you ashamed of me, sir? I take a seat opposite of him, putting down all my belongings next to me. I carefully unwrap the plastic of the sandwich and take my first bite. It's good. Caine taps his finger onto the table, not touching his food. Has anyone ever told you that you're like a cockroach you can't get rid of? Asked Caine. He stopped chewing. He's comparing me to a cockroach. How rude. I said with a mouthful of chicken. Don't compare me with such an unsanitary bug. How about a dung beetle then? Caine offers. I grit my teeth. Only if I can call you a shrimp. Caine purses his lips, glaring at me for my remark. Well, he started the name calling. The thing I was feeling sorry for him just a minute ago. I should have known he'd give me an attitude. I take another bite of my delicious sandwich. By the way, why'd you run away with your tail between your legs? I asked. He ran off without saying a word when he helped me out. I wonder if something is bothering him. Huh? Caine looks confused. What do you mean with my tail between my legs? Well, you took off without saying a word. How else would I describe it? A light bulb goes off as Caine understands what I'm talking about. That's nothing. He deflects scratchily. I couldn't even say thank you. You were gone so fast. I don't need your thanks. Seriously though, why are you here? He asks as he folds his arms across his chest. He's so grumpy. Why can't he let loose a little? Maybe I could cheer him up a bit. Do I really need a reason other than to enjoy the magnificence that is this chicken sandwich? Dear God, I've missed this so much. You can never get them grilled and breaded like this anywhere else. Caine's eyes twitch. I don't care about your stupid sandwich. I hold my sandwich close to my body, protecting it from Caine's hurtful comments. Shh, I can hear you. Don't be stupid, it's a sandwich. He argues back. My precious, I say, stroking the bread with my fingers. Caine looks visibly creeped out. You're disgusting. Stop making love with a goddamn sandwich. I'll let you have a bite if you ask nicely. I'm not touching that shit with a 10-foot pole, he immediately replies. It's the best you'll ever have. Try it. I move the sandwich towards Caine. Caine deflects the sandwich with the back of his hand. Don't go shoving that in people's faces, he barks. Come on, try it. It'll cheer you up, I say in a sing-song voice, hovering the sandwich near his mouth. Caine's face is starting to get redder from being so annoyed. Stop bugging me already. Caine finally slapped the sandwich away this time, knocking it out of my hand, and it lands with a thud on the table. Finally, I realize I've gone too far with my teasing, and I sit down in silence. I was just trying to cheer him up. He looked so sad before, sitting all alone, but I guess I overstepped my boundaries here. Alright, sorry, I'll leave, I say. I take my sandwich from the table and gather my belongings before I stand up. Then I turn around and quickly walk away from him. Well, that's a little depressing, my poor sandwich. Back at the boutique, I've told Sarah to drop by so I can give her my present. Oh, thanks so much, Sarah says with a big smile. Do you like it? I wasn't sure if you'd use it or not. The clerk at the camera store said every photographer should have one. Sarah shakes the camera lens cleaning kit box at me. Of course, lenses need to be cleaned, especially the mirror, which can sometimes catch some dust when you change your lenses. One speck of dust can destroy an entire picture. I nod, pretending to follow along. Right. Sarah looks pleased, so I'm happy with the purchase. How's your business coming along? I ask her. Just like me, Sarah has started her own business. She's a photographer, specializing in portraits and even fashion. It was going slow for a while, but I managed to net a client this time that wants me to shoot her wedding. Wow, your first wedding. I'm excited for her. Yeah, it'll be exciting for sure. I've never done a wedding before, but I'm sure I can pull it off. The client saw my pictures on another website and asked if I'd be available. So, when are you getting married? I asked jokingly. Sarah grins at me. Why? Are you proposing? Does a cleaning kit count as an engagement ring? I ask. It does if you offer it to a photographer. Then I guess I'm proposing. Both Sarah and I laugh at our silliness. I miss hanging out with her. I've been so busy lately and Sarah has as well. It's not like it used to be back in college when we were roommates and spent so much time together. Now we have to make time for one another, which is a little sad. The wedding is in July, so I've got plenty of time to prepare. The client sounded like she had a lot of cash to spend though, so it's going to be a huge wedding. A fairy tale-like wedding. That sounds so dreamy. I'd love to design my own wedding dress. Of course, you think about the dress first and not about who you'll be marrying, Sarah points out. Classic Michiko. Hey, are you saying I'm not romantic? Sarah shrugs. I'm just wondering who'd want to marry you. You can be quite demanding. I pout at her. That's a blow to my ego. Don't say that. I'm going to end up an old spinster. Let's hope not. Met anyone cute lately? Sarah asked with a laugh. I did see someone at college the other day. Alright, you had to do that presentation thing. How did that go? Went alright. It was fun. Makes me miss going to college, you know? Sarah sighs. I know what you mean. The real world is much less fun when you've got adult responsibilities to take care of. I do like living on my own, though, I said with a giggle. You didn't like living with me? Sarah pouts at me. Was I a bad roommate? Nah, you were the worst, I say sarcastically, but it's good to be on my own. So, who did you meet at college? Actually, I think you'd be into him, I say. I recall Sarah having a thing for red eyes and people who gel their hairs in ridiculous ways. Now she looks interested. Tell me more. Tall, red eyes, orange spiked hair, seems to be fashionable, had a cute smile. Damn it, why am I a working adult? I want to go back to college, Sarah complains. So many cute guys there. My mind wanders over to Caine, the redheaded loner. I try to push my thoughts away. It's not like he and I were ever friends. I don't need to deal with him anymore. By the way, I signed up for Fashion Week, I mentioned, changing the subject. Right, that's great. You have to come up with your own line, don't you? I nod at her. Yep, there will be a ton of people there, even celebrities, and I have to cast models. That should be fun. Judging people on their appearance. Yes, that does sound like a lot of fun, Sarah grins mischievously. I wonder if I can manage to get myself a backstage pass so I can take pictures, Sarah wonders. Try looking on their website. If you get in early, you might get a spot. Yeah, I will. Sarah flashes me a confident smile. Anyways, I should go now. I need to go edit a picture of someone's dog. Sounds absolutely riveting, I joke. I can't tell if Arya is like whining or she's crying in her sleep. Like I can't tell if she's awake. Are you okay? You okay? Okay. Sarah rolls her eyes at me. I'll remember that. She bids her goodbye and leaves the boutique. It felt good to have a little chat with her. I'm glad I bought her that present. Alright, I'm assuming the next chapter will be us actually prepping for the fashion week. I don't know. This, the Caine story, I don't know how to feel about him. At moments I'm like, okay, he's not that bad. But then it's like, yeah, he's bad. And then it's like, I feel kind of bad for him. So my emotions are really matching up with our MC here. We just don't know how to feel about the guy. But anyway, thank you guys for watching today's episode. Stay beautiful, and I'll see you guys in the next one.